Randall, addressing your position of atomism here. I'd like to point out that your position on atoms as building blocks and the analogy you use with Legos, and even presenting atoms as an answer to the contingency of the being of the universe just seems to me to be a sort of punting of the ball. And I don't hold atomism as such as wholly unorthodox per se. The whole point I'm trying to make is that there exist things that have a range of action within which they consistently act. This includes atoms. You can't fill a cheap motel sign with lead atoms and expect that motel sign to glow. Nor can you fill a hot air balloon with gold atoms and expect the hot air balloon to suddenly rise. What about an atom's material reality dictates its range of activity? I mean, is it time to punt to elementary particles here? What is it about these atomic Lego blocks that whenever you combine, say, with my own particular atomic structure, results in me rather than a Sherman tank or a dream of a cold winter's evening? See, these are different kinds of things. Why do different kinds of arrangements of atoms always consistently produce these sort of things? That's what I'm asking here. If you combine the same atoms, by the way, of which I'm composed in the same exact structure in a lab someplace else tomorrow, why could this new structure, identical to me atomically, not result in some kind of a new person? I mean, after all, if atoms are the only thing that's real, why couldn't some equal composition of atoms to me in a different place just be me all over again? What would happen to my consciousness? Would it be split in two? I'd like to know the answer to that. It's something that's always bothered me. So, and of course, really, it's worth pointing out here, Randy, that atoms themselves are contingent, so they can't form an answer to the question of the contingency of the universe. They themselves change. Radioactive decay, for instance, is really the ultimate shit happens of the universe. What about radioactive decay is implied by the materiality of the atoms? Science doesn't have an answer to that. That's fact. I mean, what controls this sort of thing? So, I guess your other point had to deal with animal and human suffering. And really here, Randy, this is a very serious issue with me, and it should be with all theists and all atheists. And I think that it warrants a new discussion in and of itself. But you and I both here see a need to change the world for the better, which means there is a better, first and foremost, and however difficult it is, there's room to change the contents of the universe for the better. This sort of shepherding view that you have and I have as members of mankind really is central to Orthodox theology. So, whether you take the Platonist poison or not, Randy, we can at least agree that there is something with this universe that we should be breaking our backs to improve upon. So let's do it.